What's good, people? I guess it's over the hump day. Today I wanted to speak on Gaddafi. I was watching it. I watched two documentaries on Gaddafi. So I watched one based on America, and I watched another one based on I guess a black person who does research on like black and African history. So I watched the American one first because I wanted to see what America thinks. Because I always heard bad things about Gaddafi from like America and stuff like that. But I've been hearing stuff from like Riza Islam. Like he been talking about Gaddafi a lot, and I was like, I need to do because I was like, I don't know if he fully right. Cause I feel like Riza is usually right for the most part, but sometimes he exaggerates things a little bit. So I just wanted to make sure did he exaggerate anything or is it anything he brushed over? And I think it's like the second documentary kind of said he had some good and bad. It wasn't all good, but it wasn't all bad either. And so I want to bring the totality of it, and I want to give like my unbiased opinion on it. And so watching the first documentary, the white people, white people, America, whatever, they basically was slandering this man's name, calling him, like a terrorist. He supported terrorist groups. Mind you, one of the terrorist groups they mentioned was like the Black Panther Party. That kind of had me, I couldn't give them any more, I can't think of the word, like accreditation. I couldn't give them no more accreditation after they tried to throw the Black Panther Party in this terrorist group that was so bad. So, anyways, they tried to portray him to be a terrorist, this like crazy murderer. All he did was like the attack, and just like he was an evil dictator. Like all he did was try to overrule everything, always trying to go at war with people. He was just an evil man. And in reality, yes, he did do some messed up stuff. I'm not going to act like he didn't. He definitely, did some like attacks and, different stuff like that on different countries. And he might have did give some money to different groups throughout his term and stuff like that. But the problem with that is America does the same thing. So you criticizing this man for funding terrorist stuff, for doing all these other things, attacking countries, going to war with countries, doing all this stuff, and y'all do the same thing. Somebody was because after that I was looking at, it was a video, somebody made like a parody of like the Schoolhouse Rock, and it was the Emperor and the Pirate, and they was talking about how, because if y'all never heard of it, the Emperor and the Pirate is a parable where basically the Emperor arrests the pirate, and he condemns him, talking about how you a robber, you a thief, all this stuff. And the pirate basically hit him with that Spider-Man meme, pointing at him like, you do the same thing. Like, you kill people, you rob people, but because you in the government, it's looked as okay and acceptable. And it's like, but you do the same thing as me. I'm just, one person, and you're a whole, country. You run a whole country, so it's acceptable. And that's my whole view with Gaddafi. When America talks about Gaddafi, it's the same thing as the pirate and the emperor. They criticizing Gaddafi for doing all these things, attacking countries, funding, terrorists and stuff like that. But like, we funded like Nicaragua, and the funding they gave, from what I understand, some of that funding they gave to these groups and stuff in Nicaragua was attacking hospitals and schools and stuff like that. So y'all funding stuff like this in other countries, but you trying to criticize Gaddafi for doing it however he did it. And it's like, stop the hypocrisy. That's like, okay, if you want to say he was bad, but then acknowledge what y'all did. Don't just try to act like he the only one out here doing that, and y'all didn't do nothing. Like, y'all just, all for the rights, and just like, y'all do the same stuff. I literally read an article about how Bill Clinton might have had something to do with like the smuggling drugs into the country, him and Hillary. And I also heard about Hillary possibly having something to do with like human trafficking of children and stuff, and women. But I'm not gonna get into all that because I have to do some more research before I start throwing out stuff like that. But I've read stuff about this being possible. So y'all doing stuff like this, but then y'all condemning this man for what he doing. It's like, what in the Spider-Man meme is going on here, And I say all that to now bring it full circle of the totality of the stuff Gaddafi did. And Gaddafi had Libya as the most thriving country in Africa. One of the most thriving countries in the world. It was doing better than, I believe, Russia. I want to say China. Like, it was doing better than most countries in general because he knew how to leverage like they wealth, like the minerals and everything that they have. He knew how to manage all that. I believe they had free healthcare. I want to say they even had like free education and stuff like that. And that's the stuff Rizza Islam was talking about that I could wholeheartedly agree with, was the fact that he did a lot for Libya. And the fact that I agree with him on this too is the fact that they probably got him killed because he tried to create a universal currency for Africa. The way euro is used in most European countries, that's the same thing he was trying to do for Africa. He's trying to make a universal currency so that all of Africa could have one currency to back off of. And if Africa had a currency like that, it would probably be the most valuable currency in the world. They not gonna let that happen. You think white people gonna let Africa be the most powerful country in the most powerful continent in the world? Come on now, let's be serious about this. And so, just watching those documentaries, it was like, wow, they only tell you one side. And so if you from America and you learning about Gaddafi, and I also want to do research on like Castro, and it's somebody else I want to do research on. But all these leaders that that America condemns like they do, it's like, I mean, they might have did some bad stuff. I'm not saying they did. Like I said, Gaddafi did some messed up stuff. But my thing is, are you telling the totality of the story, or are you only telling the part that you against because it doesn't benefit you? Basically, since he wasn't for America and he wasn't, with America, y'all just want to slander this man's name and act like he was just only an evil dictator. And my thing with that is, even if he did do some things, it's like, y'all presidents do some things. Y'all don't condemn them. Y'all not trying to get them killed. Y'all act like they're the greatest human beings on the planet. We praise Obama, and Obama was going to war, sending people to war and stuff like that. Let's not act like these presidents don't be sending people to war, getting people killed. What didn't Obama say the proudest thing he did was like getting like Saddam Hussein killed or something like that? Or Bin Laden, one of them. But either way, that's my point. It's the fact that these leaders literally trying to get people killed, and that's their goal before they get out of office, is to get certain people killed. But we such a great country, though. We such a great country. We just care about people. We humane. Like, man, get out of here with all that. Like, that, it's just the hypocrisy. Like, it blows my mind the more I learn, the more I research, the more I look into, like, all this stuff that goes on with America and just the hypocrisy of it. It's like, we act like we such a great country, but in reality, it's like, y'all hypocrites. Like, half the stuff y'all say is hypocritical. And it's like, it's like they don't even process the hypocrisy that's coming out their mouth. They just say it. Like, that's an evil person. They did this, they did that. It's like, but you did the same thing. And it's like, even with like the criminal justice system. And like, with black people, they just look at us as predators. They give us as much time as they can for whatever crimes we get. And it's literally, I've seen cases of white men raping women, and the judge give them off on probation because they don't want that to mess up their lives. And they literally raped them, not even accused. They raped these women. And they let them off on probation. I've read about articles like that where I don't want to mess up his future, so I'm going to let him off on a rape case. But then a black person like the Central Five, they can literally just get accused and they did years in prison. And they didn't even do anything. But you'll let a white man get off who literally had evidence that he raped somebody. And that's just my whole point. It's just the whole hypocrisy of America. And so that's why I always say, man, don't be a lazy learner, and like learn, just learn. And that's what I try to do. I just try to research, I try to learn, I try to find that balance of like finding my own sanity, finding my own sanity, finding ways to create wealth for myself and build wealth for me and my family and build generational wealth for my future kids and stuff like that. And at the same time, learning about how society works as a whole. Because that's the thing, we get so stuck in like the small city we live in, but it's a whole world out here. And you gotta think about how is the world functioning as a whole? What are other countries doing? Why is countries like, Switzerland and stuff like that, why are they so thriving? Why is they like, they average cost of living, why is it at a, everybody getting the average salary so high there and stuff like that? Why are they so thriving? Why don't you really hear about crime going on there? Why is it like in America it's so much crime and stuff like that? And that's what I'm saying, like, what are we doing that's so different in these other countries? And but the biggest answer is capitalism. Capitalism causes a lot of things because people will turn a blind eye to all the wrongdoing with enough money. That's really what it comes down to. If I give you enough money, you just gonna ignore all this bad stuff that's going on right here. It's like, all right, if I slide you $1 million, you just gonna look the other way type thing. And it's like, how can we do things? What can we do to, kind of make that better, And at the end of the day, I'm only one person. Like I said, I don't have all the answers. I just like sparking conversation. Like I said, I want to have a discussion. Like y'all give me some suggestions. Like maybe make I don't want to say a clubhouse, but something where we can have open dialogue, open discussion, and have conversation. Cause I like having these conversations about stuff. Cause I like thinking. I like somebody. I like people trying to push my brain power, where I have to think more. I like having to think, having to push my thought process, think outside the box, reflect on things. And so whatever I can do to have those open dialogues and discussion with y'all, give me some suggestions, because I love having dialogue and discussions. And I just keep on trying to continue to learn every day. And every day I try to learn something new, and at least like 1 hour out the day I try to take to really learn some things about like history or like things that's going on in society. And so I would recommend all y'all do that. I take a few more hours to learn about finances and creating wealth and investing, and I try to just learn different things throughout the day. And so I hope y'all do the same. And like I be saying, don't be a lazy learner, man. Just educate yourselves. And don't just believe everything you hear, man. Do your own research. Don't just be blindly following these politicians that be telling you stuff. Don't just be blindly following these doctors that say stuff. Like, do your own research, do your own due diligence, and make sure they giving you the correct information, man. Because they gonna set you up for you really think the government can have your best interest at heart? Let's be honest with that. They don't care about us. They don't. Look at Biden. Biden literally was talking about how he gonna do all stuff for black people. What has he done? What's he done? And so that's all I'm saying, man. So y'all be great out here, man. It's all love. And I just want to see y'all be great. And I want y'all to be wise, smart, and, just inform yourselves, man. But like I say, if nobody else rooting for you, I'm rooting for you, man. Sue me. One love.